Hello, it's me. I am Blood Moon. I have taken over the channel, and there's no way that Twink is gonna get it back.
What the fuck are you doing on my fucking channel?
Overtaking it, duh, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to take it back.
Oh, really? How do I reject the image? Please, let me check the image up. Hold on. Image! What about this, huh? Since when the... God damn it.
Since when the fuck do you have a minigun?
I'm not gonna repeat myself. Get the fuck off my live stream!
You win today, Bloom Bracket, but I'll be back. You will see.
Yeah, whatever, vampire from Timu. Anyways. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my stream. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, datems, foxes, chairs, or whatever the fuck else you want to identify as now, and welcome as a proper introduction to this live stream. The skit. It was supposed to be a skit, but then I couldn't pull up the minigun PNG properly, and it kind of ruined the moment. But yeah, I've gathered all of you here today. I'm gonna act like I'm like a president on the podium. I've gathered all of you Americans and other countries today here for talking about the future of this AU and what I'm gonna do with the If I Write the Scene series, because there's been some complications when preparing stuff. I have decided that ThunderDusted is gonna have like a completely, well, not completely, but a very much different timeline of events than Sam's does. So I've proposed that If I Write the Series and ThunderDusted are gonna be two separate things. ThunderDusted is gonna take a lot more time to get out since I'd have to make the sprites. But If I Write the Series, If I Write the Scenes, is going to be slowly coming back up again with the classical images. So you have like the comedy side and then the like actual AU stuff. So I came here to talk and show what basically the differences that I'm gonna make in the lore are gonna be. If I could just plug my laptop in without it dying every 5 seconds. I mean, tablet. Did I say tablet or did I say laptop? I don't know. My mind is all over the place. So, basically, I think this is a new layer. Yeah. We had our sun. This is sun. Hold on. Beautiful rays. And then we had our moon, right? This is how it started. They both shared the same body. In here, Terra was also, yeah, Terra was also delivered to the daycare along with them. There were, instead of just Sun and Moon, it was Sun and Moon and Terra. She was originally called Terra. She didn't change her name. And these two still shared the same body because all of the budget, right? All of the budget, however you make the dollars, went to her and her model. Bitter giggle eyes. Oh my god, you're kind of right. Right? And then these two decided, hey, let's split like the original series. So they do. But unfortunately, that creates complications, as we do know. The difference here is a code was left in Sun and Moon. And this creates, if I can, that's not how you draw rays, please. Eclipse and Solar. They're twins. They're like actual twins. But actually, switch the spots around. This is Solar, where Sun is, and where Moon in Moon's head was Eclipse. Sun actually talked things out with Solar, and he was peacefully sharing his body. Moon, however, on the other hand, who has just left that kind of a situation, wasn't agreeing to share the body with Eclipse. They didn't want to hear him out. They didn't want to talk to him or at all. Which made Eclipse angry because, as we know in the show, not having communication with Eclipse leads to villainous problems. So then, these three have to deal with Eclipse's villainy, right? Eclipse, as he usually does, proceeds to make Lunar and Blood Moon. Come on. No, actually, wait. There we go. And Blood Moon. Eclipse is petty. Okay. Solar tries to have a talk with Eclipse, being like, "We don't have to do this. We can live out we can live normally. We'll get new bodies." And Eclipse is like, "Motherfucker, he tried to kill me the second I showed up. If you were fine with them, I'm not. I know in the original show is that way, and I'm aware of that. I just drew Lunar first. My mind is always Lunar first. Who are the Blood Twins?
I don't know who the Blood Twins are. I don't know them.
Right? And then after Solar gets through to Eclipse, that they still get their own bodies. Eclipse leaves Moon's body. However, leaving the kill code still in him. He pulls the same shit Moon did. He leaves the kill code part of himself in Moon, which then spirals on to create KC. And so after that, they have to deal with KC. However, this time, Sun wasn't an idiot. I'm sorry to all the Sun fans. And he didn't blow up the magical pool because Moon didn't have a magical pool. Okay, let's put the convoluted magical system aside for once. They were able to separate KC and Moon. However, this time Moon actually lost his memories. It's not a new Moon. He actually just lost his memories. So, as he's dealing with that, he's trying to remember who he was. And Sun continuously gets angry that like nothing is working to bring Moon's memories back. Which leads to a Little Moon villain arc. Right? And in this, instead of Sun and Moon finding Dazzle in like a deer body in the moon in the walls, they find Jonathan in a beta version of the Twisted Wolf model. It's a switch around. That basically causes Moon to get out of his villain arc slowly and then proceed to make an agreement with Sun, and then they start finding a way to get Jonathan a body, like a little wolf character, kind of how we had like a little Dazzle, like a little deer. He's a little wolf, basically, a switcheroo, if you will. I haven't thought of exactly what happens here, but I do want another brother fight where Moon pulls out something that he shouldn't have, like how Sun and Moon Show did it, which causes Jonathan to run away. Sun then also just leaves the family without saying anything. He eventually builds another character that I'm not going to talk about because of spoilers, and he helps he helps find Jonathan, and then he keeps Jonathan with him and this new character. with the little hideout that they have. Solar Eclipse and Moon have been trying to find where Sun is for so long, and they couldn't. And he's freaking out where Jonathan is, if he's gonna lose him again, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, Lunar and Blood Moon have just become besties. Like they got their own apartment. Blood Moon is getting his blood from who knows where, but we don't talk about that. They're just chilling in an apartment. Also, no cosmic entities. We don't need the astrals. No need the ast. No, we don't need them. Okay, we don't need them. That gets convoluted. Star power in the Sun and Moon show gets way too convoluted. I'm not working with that. Lunar doesn't have cosmic powers in here. On the side plot, Terra meets up with two other Earths who hate their dimension, named Gaia and Earth, and they form Terra and the Earthquakes, which is a band, a rock band. And then they go and live like roommates in an apartment, and they have like a typical rock band life. That's a different side plot. After Sun and Moon talk it out again, this new character feels like they're losing their purpose, and they freak out over being destroyed after they have been like their purpose is done. So they go on a villain arc. And who helps them calm down? Well, it's obviously none other than Molten. Hello, we can't forget about the goat. How Molten got there is still not known to me, but we'll get there. I'm thinking, since the Creator Council sent out a bunch of copies of Molten, I don't feel like they just made one. So this is a different copy of Molten that they befriended. Different universe and whatever not. So after things calm down, Molten and this new character that I'm not going to reveal decide to move out into a separate dimension, pulling the Eclipse card. And then from then on is season 2, which I haven't plotted out yet. But that's the gist of it. Where is Jack? I don't know. I'm gonna try to squeeze him in anywhere, but I don't know where Jack is. I don't know where to put him. I don't know where to put him yet. Obviously, Solo's gonna build him, but I don't know when. Also, Eclipse is not a father in this one. I am sorry. He doesn't find 3 ghost kids and then befriend. He doesn't go to the Eeps dimension. This doesn't cat. Oh my god, doesn't happen to this Eclipse. He's kind of not like the other Eclipses. That feels so fucking weird to say. I'm not like the other Eclipses. Jack has returned to the darkness. Maybe. Are we getting? Are we gonna be getting Ruin? I kind of feel like Ruin's like a one-dimension thingy. Maybe he pops up to see how the dimension is up, but this dimension are gonna have their own Ruin. Can I suggest an idea for Jack? Sure, go ahead. Meanwhile, I'm going to work on Sun because I was supposed to and I didn't. That's like the basic gist of it. Now, Lantern already knows who the character is. I kind of yapped a lot about the character to them. I've been showed like what he looks like currently. Whoa, pronouns reveal. But if you have noticed, in the background of the videos, you can hear a lot of thunder, so it's definitely going to be thunder themed. Keep that in mind. How does one draw shoes again? I feel like I should know how to draw shoes by now, but I don't. So I'm not using black. God damn it. I just now realized that. that's a shoe, right? That's good enough for a shoe. My lips are sealed. They better be, or I'm pulling out the machine gun again. I'm just kidding. Them to help Moon find Jonathan. That's actually a good idea. Thank you. That does make sense because he can run at Mach 2. Thanks for that. I honestly don't know how it escaped my mind. It's a good plot and it fits with the plot nicely. Thank you. Very shoe. It is a very great shoe. I know how to shoe. This shoe is not gonna make any sense, but we ball. Okay, we ball. It doesn't have to make sense. It's not gonna make sense, but we're gonna ball, and we're that's not how lightning bolts work. Please, come on. I know how to draw my shapes. I swear. I swear I know how to draw my shapes. There we go. Oh boy, that is What is that? No, get rid of it. 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 Thanks, Casey. Come on. I hate this. I Some people call hands the worst thing to draw. My biggest fear, my biggest hate. Copy paste? Well, no, because he's not crossing his like legs sideways. It's supposed to face kind of like a different angle. My biggest hate for things to draw is shoes. I cannot draw shoes. If you ask me to draw shoes or put a bullet in my head, I will put a bullet in my head. Anytime, any day. I fucking hate drawing shoes. But I'm not gonna let them walk around bare naked either. Barefoot. Not bare. Same thing. No, it's not. Bear with me. Not in that way! I can't speak. For those who don't know, English is not my first language, so please don't judge me. Okay? I'm trying. That's not a lightning bulb. What is wrong with my art today? Hands or feet are the most difficult to draw because you're constantly looking at them. Hands are not that hard for me. Honestly, I've just accepted that my hands are gonna look a little bit wonky, and I've just moved on. But feet, I cannot accept feet. They have to look properly. Otherwise, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna like move around the ground like snakes? No, they have to be able to walk. Well, some of my characters can't. Look at Obsidian. That guy has been through some tough battles. Oh my god. He has a traffic cone and like a piece of metal as makeshift legs. The thing is about him, he lives in a scrapyard. Okay, he can fix his legs whenever the fuck he wanted to. I feel like he's just gotten so used to using a traffic cone and a piece of metal as a leg that he just doesn't want to replace them. He's just satisfied with walking like murder drone bots. You know the feat that Jay has? If you've watched Murder Drones, he basically is walking on that. Okay. That doesn't look much like a shoe, but I don't think we're gonna get anywhere else. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere else. Okay. Now comes the most like annoying part, which is using the brush tool for cleaner line art. He has an upside down cane as a leg. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. He does. It's it more. It looks honestly, if you ask me, it looks more like an upside down crowbar. It looks like a weird, wonky, fucked up crowbar that he just placed where his legs should be. People who have not been here. Did I just draw Stubbs' feet after time and call it a day? Yeah, fair enough, honestly. But I only do that when I'm trying Cookie Run Kingdom characters. Come on, please don't lag on me. Come on. Oh my god. Every time I use this one tool, I don't know what it's called because there's no labels. I can't view the labels. But it like smoothens your lines because I have shaky hands, and it lags or either straightens the line completely. That's not what I want. Okay, that's not what I want. Also, something about Sun's face is pissing me off. I'm gonna have to redo his eyes. It's giving a little bit of Elon Musk, and we don't want that. I crop the feet out if I'm not feeling like drawing them. Yeah, but this is a reference sheet. I can't just do that. The stabilizer? That's probably what it's called. I don't know. I typically do that as well, Lantern, but this is a reference sheet. I can't just show it up if I ever like want to make models and they ask me, "Where's his feet?" Oh, I just cropped it out. I didn't feel like drawing the legs today. For the other drawings, I most certainly will, but for this one, I have to bear with the pain. I'm thinking about giving him an extra um raise actually, like how I usually do my raise, which I do 3 sets of rays because I can, because I like doing it. Even though rays are a pain to draw, as I say every time, I give my like ray characters 3 sets of like oh my god, 3 sets of rays. There we go. Why? Because if you're new here, I'm a masochist. I'm a huge masochist, actually. Call me Ruin 2.0. Actually, maybe don't, because I won't be destroying 5,000 dimensions. Oh, man. Actually, mm, nah. I'll think about it. Actually, I think the only thing that me and Ruin wouldn't share is killing 5,000 dimensions and being British. Who would be British? Lantern sweats in the corner. Nervously sweats in the corner. I have to wait every time I draw a line for it to stabilize before I can draw another one. It's pissing me off. But it must be done. It must be done. Did I draw that on a different... Okay, so here's another dilemma I have about my art program. Every time I think I've clicked a button, like the specific button that adds a new layer, it fucking doesn't add a new layer. It fucking doesn't add a new layer. So every time I just continue drawing, like, oh, this crosses, it's fine. I'll be able to, like, do- I just needed my fucking Pentecostal rope. Oh no! I like to fling my hands, and I accidentally ungripped on the pen. It went flying. I can't have another pen tip situation, please. I just got this one. Please don't. No. Don't do this to me. As I was saying, I would continue drawing, seeing that it's crossed like between some lines, so I'll be like, oh, okay. Even the pen couldn't deal with the nonsense. I would just go on drawing, be like crossing the lines, but oh, it's fine. I can just go on the under the other layer and just remove it. What other layer? It didn't create another layer. I was drawing on the same layer. Someday I'm gonna be in a psych ward. Anyways, straighten the lines, please. Also, this one is canonically gay because I said so. Yep. Oh, and another thing. Since this is my AU, and I don't like Nebula as a character, I'm so sorry, Kat. Solar's gonna be dating Rocky from the Roxanne Wolf and Gregory show. If you don't know who Rocky is, he's my first fictional husband, and if I could marry a fictional character, I would find a way to bring him back. I will pull an Exes and bring him back so we can get married. I love Rocky. He's like the best dude. One thing that I appreciate from the Roxanne Wolf and Gregory show channel that the others don't do is that they have songs. They made an entire Christmas musical. Okay, and the first song they ever made for Rocky, Heartquake, I love that song. Okay, whenever in the distant future, if I ever get a partner, know that I will be singing that song with my partner. I will learn how to play the guitar just for that. Zoller has for a long time, like you know how Solar has the daycare attendant shirt. I've for a long time drawn him with a Rocky and the Rocks shirt instead. He's supporting his boyfriend. Yes, Rox and Wolf and Gregory show have songs. It's called Heartquake. I suggest listening to it because it's so good. Lantern, you know how you love puns, right? Well, this song is all about. It is literally a love song filled with rock puns to the brim. Every line is a rock pun. You make my heart quake like an earthquake. You make my legs shake like an 808. I lava you so much it burns. Geologists should be concerned. It is such a good song. The lore that they had is very good. I am sad that they're not gonna continue that, but I saw Austin's video. They don't want to continue it, so as proper fans, we need to let them live the life that they want to live. And if that doesn't include the Roxanne Wolf and Gregory show, well, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with the reaction content. But yes, I adore the Roxanne Wolf and Gregory show. Listen, Ennard, right? Ennard was one of the fucking coolest villains in this entire TSBS show. Afton and Eclipse and Blood Moon and whatever else you want to throw, not even KC could stand to how fucking horrifying that guy was. That's like the only TSBS villain I've actually fucking feared. The whole situation is horrifying. So I'm not gonna say anything about it because if you haven't watched the show, I suggest you watch that arc. I don't want to spoil anything for you because it's so good. I believe the Ennard arc spread across. You know how Sun and Moon show spreads over to like Lunar and Earth show. Well, it used to Lunar and Earth show and like the Monty Gator and Foxy show. Circus Baby and Glamrock Freddy show used to like coexist with Roxanne Wolf and Gregory show. So a lot of their arcs went across the channels. There's a lot of good ones. There are some questionable ones. Okay, we don't. Some of the reaction content, you may end up seeing Glamrock Freddy fanning his butt out and farting at the camera. We ignored those videos. Okay, we ignore those videos. Those don't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. Those don't exist. Okay? We don't talk about those. However, I will point out that some of the reaction content for a few thumbnails did match up with Lauren Z side thumbnails. And what brought to like what I thought about is imagine being her, right? Don't question it, Lantern. It's better not to question it. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. It gets worse. You don't want to know. Listen, you don't want to know. Okay, I don't know if they changed that thumbnail or if it's still up, but you don't want to know. Just scroll past it if you see it. Scroll past it. It's not there. It can hurt you. Maybe it can, but we don't dwell on that. Okay? But yeah. Something I something I thought about was imagine being Lauren Z side. You wake up, you see a bunch of posts saying that a bunch of your thumbnails seem a little bit too close to a YouTube channel called Roxanne Wolf and Gregory Show. Like, she's played Security Breach. She knows who these characters are. Imagine waking up and seeing that a bunch of your thumbnails have people that have thumbnails similar to yours from a show that has two game characters as a show. I think it would blow her mind. Imagine she becomes like a like a fucking Roxy Wolf and Gregory Show fan, and she reacts to the lore episodes on her channel. I would cry. I would actually cry. How do you do, fellow kids? And today we're going to be reacting to a certain little YouTube channel that showed up on my For You pitch called the Roxanne Wolf and Gregory Show. One thing that I don't want to say hate, but because I loved like falling asleep to TSBS videos. I used to be so obsessed with TSBS in general that I would watch every series all night from like 10 p.m. onward. It's just Sun and Moon show, Lunar and Earth show, Freddy and Funtime Freddy, and then Bonnie, like Glamour Bonnie and whatever the fuck, and then Gregory and Circus Baby, and then just fall asleep to those videos. The problem is that Rox and Wolf and Gregory's show ending and intro music are so much louder than Rox and Wolf and Gregory are in the videos. So if I toned down so it doesn't wake me up or keep me from sleeping, I won't hear them. So every time their video popped up on the play next, I would just get fucking jump scared out of my sleep, and I had a petty anger towards their videos for a little bit. They'd pop up, and I'd just go, there's the reason I couldn't sleep last night. But I also like if you don't want to go through the entire thing, I think you can watch the Christmas musical they made. I'm pretty sure you don't need any context to the show or like its lore to enjoy the Christmas musical. From what I remember, but Rocky is the best character out of the entire series, and I'm totally not biased at all. What are you talking about? I wouldn't be biased towards my literal husband. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never be biased against my husband. I've also noticed that I do have a type. Through all the games and shows that I've played, it oh my god, like all five of them play the guitar. All five of them. All five fictional husbands play the guitar. I guess there's only one way to my heart. I don't fucking know. There's a really easy way to my heart, I guess. Just gotta know how to play the guitar, apparently, and also be a man. I remember the Christmas musical. People were asking if Sam's would do something like that on stream yesterday. David said no. Yeah, I don't think Davis writes songs or any of them on that on the cast do. From what I know, only Austin writes songs from the entire thing. I don't think he'd agree to write them songs. Plus, I don't think they're very keen. I mean, the Sun and Moon Show cast had like 4 lines in the first song of the musical, and that was it. Unless they also sang along to Blue, but I don't hear their vocals. With the other 4 husbands, so I don't know if I've mentioned this before to you. I think I have. One of them is Sam's from Stardew Valley. I personally think that he is the best one out of the options that you could get from the men anyway, because your other options are jock and alcoholic. So I think I'm gonna go with the loser skater who also plays guitar. Thank you very much. Another one is Max Goof. I just love his vibe, honestly. And I love the vibe of the entire movie. Like, oh my god, Maxley is my favorite fucking ship of all time. Do not bring it up in conversation or you will hear me yap for 7 hours straight. The entire vibe in like the song Good Luck Babe in every single thing to do with Maxley is just it's drugs to me. It is drugs to me, okay? I love Maxley. In fact, I've drawn them multiple times, and my playlist is full of animatics. I am not okay. I'm coping. Send help. Was that? It was also Thomas from Starcatcher, the comic that I talked to you about. Um, it does handle heavy topics, so be careful if you want to go check that out. But you totally should because it's a really cool comic. And let me. I have to think what the other ones were. I know I had a list. Hold on, hold. Von Lycon from ZZZ. Love him. What else? There's some I'm missing. However, I can't check the list that I send it because I currently don't have any more access to that server. Let me scratch my brain. It's not telling me. It is completely fogged. It is completely fogged. Though I recently watched The Bad Guys, and I have to say, Mr. Wolf might become one of them. I thought people liked him because furries, and he's like a wolf. But his personality is fucking adorable. I know Solar was one of them at one point, but ever since he came back, I don't like him. That's that's your reveal. That's the Ven reveal. I used to like Solar, but now I don't. Not at all. I'm trying to still think about who the others were because I know there was like at least one more, but I cannot remember it. Yeah, no, it's not coming to me. Maybe it will later. Who knows? But it's mainly big men who like look like they would kill you, but are literally going to cry if you play a very 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 little but very angsty song. Like they will cry and get very emotional. Because contrary to popular belief, showing your emotions isn't disgusting. Okay? It's actually very cute, and it's a very green flag. Cough, cough. But yeah, it's like gentle giants. I think it's the word. Who also have a passion. Like they have a drive. They want to go out there and like make the world remember who they are. Also, be like a giant ball of sunshine because I my life's been way too depressing. I need someone who will like constantly show me the bright side of things because I am a pessimist. Big Ben. Ben. Ben the talking dog. Yeah. Also, coincidentally, two of them also ride on skateboards. I guess it's guitars and skateboards. I don't know. I don't don't know. Trying to think of the other ones still, but I'm not gonna remember them. Nope, they escaped my mind. Rot from Rose of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Maybe I have a confession. I haven't watched Ninja Turtles like like at all. I don't even remember their names. Don't jump me. Don't kill me. I'm gonna say it um to the entirety. Oopsies. I am a very uncultured person because during my childhood, I was very picky on what I wanted to watch, and that was two shows: Steven Universe and The Amazing World of Gumball. I would watch nothing else. I would refuse to watch anything else. Finn and Jake would show up. I only remember like two episodes, and it's like that one train episode and that one episode that like Princess Bubblegum becomes younger. That's the only two episodes I remember. Because I refused to watch anything else. I don't know why. I was a weird baby, okay? Apparently, according to my mother, I was the actual devil reincarnated when I was little. According to her, my recent like sleep schedule dilemma is not actually recent because apparently until I was like at least 4 years old, I would barely sleep. I would barely sleep. She has told me stories that it would be like 4 in the morning, and she would be rocking me as you do with babies, and I would just look into her eyes with like I'm not gonna let you sleep look. And she told me, quote, I sometimes wanted to drop you. She quoted, I sometimes felt like I was gonna drop you because of the fucking look that you had. And apparently my parents had to take turns to like because they had like a little swing thing that they put me on, and the only time I would stay quiet is when the swing was like swinging, and when the swing stopped, I would start crying again. And so they had to like every 2 hours switch in the night to make sure that I don't make noise. And in the daytime, when my mom would get me to sleep, she would like walk out of the room to do dishes and like not even starting the first dish. Wah! Wah! She couldn't do anything. And I was a type of kid, right, who did not like the baby like the thingies that they put you in so that you can learn to walk. I would stay still and just look at my mother with disappointment when she put me in those. there was a specific time, right? Of what the fuck? What is this? No, no, no. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Thank you. There was a specific time when I would learn how to walk, and that time was on my own. I learned how to walk on my own, just like I've been learning to do everything on my own in my life. That's what I've said before. The way I did it was we were at like our neighbor's house for I don't remember what kind of event, and they had like those big opening doors, like the very big sliding doors from the main room to the last room. They only had like three rooms. They kind of were like positioned like dungeon rooms. It was hallway and kind of like dining area to living room and bedroom and then the bathroom, and that was it. There was an upstairs area that led to like actual house, but nobody was allowed to go up there. I have no idea what's up there, and I'm scared to find out. I feel like some kind of serial killer place. Hopefully, it's not. But the way I learned to walk is that they had two chairs on the each side of the of oh my god of the wall, and I would grab myself, pull myself up from one chair, and then walk to the other, and then I repeat that back. And then everyone around there on the table, this is quoting my mother, looked at shot as the grandmother of the house started screaming, "The baby's walking! The baby's walking!" And that's how I learned to walk. All by myself. And it's not like my parents didn't try to help me. I just didn't want their help. They put me in those things that move, like they're supposed to help babies, and I didn't walk an inch. I wanted to learn how to walk myself. I was naive and petty since I was a baby. It's a character trait that I can't remove. I quite literally said, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. Spider-Verse reference. Which I only last month watched Spider-Verse. You can shout on me. You can shout at me now. Go ahead. Throw me in a dungeon and like burn me. I only watched Spider-Verse last month. And I was extremely pissed. I was extremely pissed at the fact that it ended on a cliffhanger. I thought there was only two movies. No. No, there wasn't. There's another one. What the fuck do you mean there's another one? I came here to watch the full series. What do you mean there's another one? Another one. That's fair. I just had free time, thought, why the fuck not? And I gave it a watch, and I actually liked it. I feel it's because a Spider Verse YouTube short showed up on my For You page, and I was like, you know what? I haven't watched it. Fuck it. There's another one I watched. It was like a whole movie fiesta that night. I don't know what happened, but it was this movie called We're All Gonna Die. I think I talked briefly to Lantern about that. It's about it's set into the future. I don't remember which year it was, but it's set in the future, and it's like this big spike that extends from the end of the atmosphere down to the core of the earth that can teleport. And when it teleports from one place to another, it's called like it's a specific event that gets like a warning, like a worldwide warning to evacuate areas because what the spike moving does is it takes like a I'm gonna use Minecraft words for this. Takes a chunk of land and replaces it with a different land, like a different chunk of land. It switches chunks. And what happened was that our main character that we follow, who is a beekeeper and a like a police guy, or I don't remember exactly what he was, but he had like a bunch of health like kind of like doctor equipment. And he mentioned that his profession is like they know everything doctors do, but they don't get paid as much. Don't know what that is. But his car that was left to him by his dead best friend, who committed the sewer slide, and this woman's trunk that was part of the bees, like the where she kept her bees, got swapped out for another chunk of land that was a river. They like there was like two to three trees that showed up with like them getting splashed with a bunch of water. And this entire film is like them two, like two strangers going together on a road trip to find where that missing like chunk was, so she can get her job back, because she was running very tight to deliver those honeys, because she like sends them off somewhere, and like the people who are waiting for those weren't very patient. And he also just wanted his friend's car back. Um, if you're asking, yes, it was a they did end up in a romantic relationship at the end. I like the message that the movie provides. It's about dealing with loss and like to not be absolved with grief. And at the end there's a part where he's like, "You were lying. Tell me again. Does it get better?" Because she lost her dad, and not her dad, her husband and her child. And like like a few years ago, and he recent hello and he recently lost his like best friend, and so he was like, "Does it get easier?" And she replies with, "No, but you find a way to move on, and there's gonna be easy days and there's gonna be hard days, but the important part is that you live on for the people who are still here to cheer you on." Something about that. It was like a positive message that's like, no, it doesn't get easier. You just learn to live with it. They did show the scene, which like where she lost her husband and child, and let me tell you, the jaw drop that I did, I like almost disconnected my jaw when it happened, because it plays like they were entering the spike, and it's playing memories of their past, and it's playing like the day that it happened. And her husband, what are you drawing? I'm drawing my sun design for little stuff I'm doing, or a little show. Well, not show, but like a little AU that I'm gonna be showing off on TikTok. I forgot the name of the platform. Hello, but it shows the day that it happened, and she's like preparing her kid like breakfast. Like it, I think she's gonna be going to school. At the end, like the dad was like, "Let's go get pizza," and like they were gonna go get pizza, and the second that they exited the door, like it was already told to us that they died in a car crash. I thought they were driving and they got in a car crash. No, you want to know what happened? They walked out of their house, not even 3 steps out, and a gigantic semi truck just runs them over right in front of her as she's standing in the front door. No, they didn't get their pizza. Maybe in heaven they did, but they didn't get their pizza. They said they got tires. I hate semi trucks. Okay, I hate semi trucks. Oh my god, they drive with just a stupid amount of speed. But yeah, that's the flashback we flashback. That's the flashback we get for her story of like the day she lost them. But my favorite part of the movie is when they reach the destination. Um, she um finds that like all of her bees that she had were drowned, like all of them drowned in the river. So giving up hope, she went like to a local pancake bar thingy where like it's like a bunch of pancakes, and she was like starting to read through her diary that she tried to throw out. It was a diary full of like it was there full of like images and drawings of her child and her husband that she threw away at the start of the movie because she was like in quotations trying to move on. But like the guy that was with her took the diary back and then placed it in her car when she wasn't looking. And so she was reading like through that as she was on like the bar stool. And like then it's when the sirens rang that the spike is moving again, and everyone was like running out screaming except her and a singular grandma. And may I say, it is the best grandma to ever exist. Okay? I fucking love that grandma. She was reading a book in the cafe, and not, it was in a okay, we're gonna say cafe for the sake of easily repeatable. She was reading a book, and then like everyone was running out screaming, and then she made a comment about why like the main character isn't running out, and she was like, "I swear to fucking god, if you start sobbing your ass over here crying about the end of the world as I'm reading my book, I'm gonna be very angry." She proceeds to scroll past the like drawings that like her child made, and she starts sobbing the shit out of herself. I can't take Boston seriously. Nobody can. She like starts sobbing up like obsessively on the stool, and then the grandma like starts like twitching with her hands, and she throws a hissy fit of like, "My God, I can't even read my fucking favorite book in peace while I'm dying. I can't read my fucking book in peace." If I can find the clip of that, I'll make sure to post it on a TikTok because it's so fucking funny. I love her so much. I am planning to make like a video essay on that movie because nobody's fucking doing it, and I feel like the movie is great. I love the dynamic between the two characters. He also does they kind of do the nexus and something where he kept like comparing her or like saying like that's not what like my dead friend would have said, and he like keeps seeing his dead friend in her because she had like a similar personality, and she pulled like a well I'm not him. It kind of had like the nexus and sun dilemma dynamic thingy. It's really cool. They got together at the end. They got married, and they're gonna probably have a child. And she got to actually be promoted to the job he wanted to be, and she actually has a successful, um, she has a oh my god, successful bee farm and whatnot. I'm totally like this is like one of the few straight ships that I like actually cheered on for. It's crazy. They like I hate when shows do this. They like it. They make like a makeout scene, and then 2 scenes later, they're like bickering, and it's like a will they, won't they? I think it's the proper term. I hate those. I hate those so much. Okay, you can't just show me these two characters kissing and then going to bed, and then later, 2 scenes later, show me having them practically a divorce when they haven't been married yet. They're not been married yet. Stop with the divorce drama. And then after like that depressing ass movie that I watched about a dystopian future, I went to watch a gay rom com because what else would I have to do? And oh my god, that film was something else. The whole premise is that there's gonna be like a party, and then this girl says, "Hey, can you like go?" Because this guy can't drive himself over here, so can you go with your car and get your high school bully and drive him in an 11-hour drive to my place for the party? Can you spend 11 hours in a car with the person you hated the most from high school? He reluctantly obliges, or whatever the fuck the word was, and he drives them. He drives them back, and then they have to stop at like a little hotel area to take a break because obviously if you didn't know, you should take like every 4 hours you should take a break from driving. It's mandatory. And well, at least here is. I don't know about anywhere else. And during the little hotel, they actually started like talking to each other, and that's when a protagonist who is like openly gay gets the knowledge that this high school bully was actually Pan. And he goes on like, "Oh, sorry for being a jerk to you. I was just like angry that you were out in the open and I wasn't." Blah 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 blah. Like the basic thingy. Which if you didn't know, if you are being bullied by somebody for that in high school, they most likely are gayer than you are. So let that be known. They most likely are more gay than you will ever be. Projecting everyone. And so they actually started to like each other. And then the party hits, and then the girl's like, because he has a like a girl best friend, because obviously the stereotypical gay has to have a girl best friend, right? And then they reach the party, right? And this guy just said that he broke up with his girlfriend, and then they reach like the party place, and then he leaves, and like our main protagonist is thinking this party we're going as like an almost probably gonna end up as a couple, right? He felt like he was being like asked out on a date. The guy exits the car and kisses a random woman and then enters the place. Who was that? His literally pretty much 5 seconds ago ex. He just got back together with her. So that just kind of like tells the audience, hey, this guy jumps from people, okay? So after that, he was like, whatever, it's fine. Um, I'll just go in I'll just go at a single party. So he grabs his girl best friend who is in a relationship, but she goes with him on a single party, and that's where they find the same guy who just 5 seconds ago was with his girlfriend at a single party. And they talk, and like their girl best like he talks with him in front of the girl best friend, and the girl best friend was like, you need to ask this man out or I will kill you. He was like, okay, okay. And then they go up and talk, and then I still don't know what the hell happened because it felt like a 1 to 11 switch of our main character protagonist basically calling him a whore, and like he switches on from a lot of people very fast, and then their kind of like friendship like fizzled out, and then through the entire movie he constantly repeats this: whenever people become friends, they cannot become partners. It never ends well. And so he was like constantly pushing him away and whatever not. Also, important thingy for the like for later on, when they were talking in the hotel, uh, I Harry is his name, by the way. The protagonist's love interest, Harry. Like, because I just remember that. I do remember our protagonist's name, but I know the his name is Harry. Harry talked about the fact that one of his biggest dreams in life is to become a father. And our protagonist said, I don't know about that. I don't think I'd be like great for a kid. He wants to. Our main protagonist wants to run for like presidentry. He wants to like not being a president, but like in somewhere in politics, right? Somewhere in politics. And he actually finds out that Harry, who was like this like kind of a loser in school, was actually pretty smart. But they still don't do it. Next party comes and he comes in to the party with like this new guy who apparently is his new boyfriend, who is like his job is like in the art department. I don't remember what it was, and it was like a not a Q&A, but like they ask questions and every table is a team, and like whichever team has the most points wins, right? And it comes to the last question, and it was about art. And like the main character's partner was like, I know this one, and he goes with like let's say enter B, and then Harry was like, no, that's wrong. It's actually enter C, and like the guy was like, I think I would know. It's like my whole job, and like the entire table was split, and they had to depend on the main characters. Like it's split. You choose. Who do you vote for? And like the boyfriend was like, "Come on, babe," and he was like pointing to himself, and he was like, "I pick Harry." And then Harry says it, and it's Harry was right. So it is presumed that like he gets up and leaves, like the boyfriend. He gets up and leaves, like pissed off, and it's assumed that they broke up. Our main character also has like a roommate he crashes with. Um, that's like important. So after that, they like kind of become friends again, and he talks to his best friend, who at this point works at a bar. She switches jobs like every 5 minutes, and he was like, I think me and Harry could work as friends as long as we don't try anything else. Everything will be fine. Plot twist: that is not what Harry wants. Okay, and Harry lives with his own roommate. This is important. So after like another date that goes extremely wrong, they were at like a pride event. Okay, bye bye. Hope your dinner's great. It was like a pride event, and they were there, and then like Sam was Sam was the name. Sam was extremely drunk, and like Carrie actually like finally tried to like ask him out, and then like Sam was like, "Friends can't become partners, bro. It never works. You should like stop trying, you fucking weirdo." As if I'm gonna get out with the guy who hops people like it's a job. And that pisses Harry off incredibly. So what he does is he makes out in a room with Sam's girl best friend. Sam finds out about this, and then they go and have brunch the next day. And he kind of like almost in a drunken state, just like goes on, isn't it crazy that you did this and that? You should know that he's like not very faithful, whatever the fuck, and he's gonna break up if he doesn't feel the connection. And they both get up, and like their girl best friend calls him like an asshole, and Harry says, "Thanks, man," and then they walk out. And then he it's shown the scene that he unfollows both of them on Instagram. I don't know what that was necessary, but yeah. eventually, like his roommate suggests like dating apps. He goes through like 100 and something dates, but and eventually he ends up at a guy that looks very similarly to Harry, but in his roommate's words, it was not his Harry. Fucking cute. Anyways, eventually the girl best friend catches up to him, and she invites him over for brunch, and she says that she's getting married and it feels wrong to like not have her best friend or ex best friend at that wedding. And then he was like, would Harry like if I come? Like is he gonna be okay with me being there? And she was like, why the fuck would that be? And he was like, because you were dating. And she was just, oh no. We like broke up like a few days after like the whole event happened actually. And he was like, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, we both thought that you didn't want to talk to us. We tried to stay in this relationship for you because we felt like if we were ruining our friendship with you, we should at least make it at least something like it wasn't for nothing. And she was like, I even posted it on social media, and was like, girl, I literally fucking unfollowed you. I didn't see it. And so I was like, oh, we were mad at each other for something that didn't fucking happen. Like, it didn't matter, you know? And he goes on the wedding, and she tells him, don't worry, Harry's not gonna be there. Plot twist, Harry was there. Decked out in a red suit and everything. I thought that was CG5 for a second. And he went on and on about, I realized that blah 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 blah, everything that I've done was just because I wanted to be with you and other sappy shit. And then they made out, and then they started dancing, and then they went back to their house, and I'm not gonna say what happened, but they wake up, and he informs Sam that he's gonna be moving out of this city to go to a different city for his job. And then Sam like angrily leaves the bed, which honestly very rightfully so, and is like, "You wait after we had something to tell me this. If you wanted to love me, you should know that trust is the thing I care about the most, and you didn't trust to tell me this early." And he storms out for his job. And what Harry does is that he finds where he's working, which was like an event for the Sam basically works as like an ad for the president, to like a campaigner, I think it's called. Like he throws out like he puts up like posters everywhere, and he like talks about her and whatnot. And so like there's this whole event, and he ends up getting on stage while like the crew was like dancing with like the pom poms. I forgot what they were called. And like he kind of low key dances along with them, but like he was like gets stumbled and like stepped over constantly, and he grabs the mic. By the way, we get to this shot when he was like running from his apartment all the way across the city to get to that area. He like pushed through security, got on the stage, grabbed the microphone, and started like saying like, I will find a different job, something else, but if I do anything, it would be where you are. And then like the president that he was like fighting for to like win the campaign was like, well, Sam, are you gonna get up on stage and kiss him? The president said that, by the way. Or like the future president, but same thing. And like they do, and then they got married. And at the end, like the prologue scene, it's shown that they have a child. His dreams of being a father is fucking like true, and Sam felt like finally comfortable enough for being a dad because he thought he couldn't be, but he gave out of the fear, and now he's a fucking father, and it was so cute. I usually don't care about children in like ships or like relationships and shows at all. Seeing them have a child, adopted one obviously, but seeing them have a child, I screamed out so loud at 5 a.m. in the morning that my parents like were like, "What the fuck are you yelling about?" And how the fuck do I tell them I just watched two gay men become fathers? They'd kill me. Anyways, that was the whole thing of that. It was a whole roller coaster. And then my friend Sarv watched with me too. He was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" Because he like came back into the room as I was watching this. He was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And I, with like tears in my eyes, said, "A masterpiece." What? Oh, I just realized why it goes down here. So I didn't deactivate the like top and bottom separator. It's not just the sides, it's like all four sides. I didn't deactivate that from when I was doing the thumbnail. That's why they show up down here. Okay, bye. It's getting late for you. Go to sleep, Gemma. There's probably not gonna be a lot. Okay. All I said is to color him. I'm surprised it came out as it did. The shoes is okay. It's it's okay. Now I just gotta now I just gotta color him. Anyways, what else I could talk about? Oh yes, the new Dandies update. I constantly keep hearing about we should like nerf dial. Um, no the fuck we don't. I beat him first time without being seen or hit once. So personally, I think if you can't beat him because nobody's ever distract him, that's a skill issue. Like I'm sorry, but that's a skill issue. And like in the literal sense, not in the bullying sense, in the literal sense. And I think it's the main problem because people try to rush his floor. You're not supposed to rush his floor. It's a patience tester. You have to have patience for his floor. And if you don't have that, then you're gonna end up being caught by him. You have to be always on alert. And if you see him coming your way, even if he's not in a distance where he would see you, back the fuck up. If you have patience, you will beat him, but you can't speed run this floor. Well, maybe if you're a master player, you can, but normal like players won't be able to speed run this floor. It's not meant to be speed runnable. Also, I hate like the idea of like a twisted not being able to be distracted as an issue to be fixed. Let me remind you all that Quell didn't create this game with the idea of distracting twisteds as a main core part of the game. That's something the community made up entirely. That's never been a mechanic. It's not also solely a Dandy's world. If you haven't played Mimic, like the Mimic on Roblox, those things get distracted too. It's not a Dandy's world mechanic. It also wasn't made with the distracting mechanic in mind. House floor isn't hard. It just requires patience. These are old, by the way, like 2023 old, I believe. Either 2023 or 2024. I don't remember. I picked Sun's Rays. I did. It's a little dark. That's Eclipse and Moon, but Moon's gonna get a little bit of a different outfit, but I'm gonna pretty much keep Eclipse the same except fix his fingers. That was designed back in the time where New Moon like broke the shit out of his fingers. Which, by the way, how are you feeling about that arc, huh? Because I kind of low key predicted Sun going to the lunar and Earth dimension. I'm still so surprised by that. Second part was him going to Chili's in the Lunar and Earth Show dimension, and Sun goes on a vacation on the Lunar and Earth Show in VR chat. Hello. Also, I just enjoyed hearing like Days like whole ego drop to a minimum when Sun used fire magic. Because they know about portals. They didn't know about fire magic. The way Knight just ran the fuck out of there and like they was like, holy shit, cut the feed! Like white diamond type of cut the feed. Don't you dare take one more step! That's enough! Bam. Also, I low-key forgot that they have immense beef with Ruin. What the fuck happened? My Google just like refreshed. I don't know what the hell that was, but okay. But yeah. I'm gonna say this again. I'm going to be revisiting the If I Write Things series normally from now on, and I'll just have this working up in the background. Would Brighter Rays go in front or behind? I've would Brighter Rays go behind? I feel like they would, right? So these should be darker rays. Yeah. I don't know why I do this to myself, and I gave him three like rows of rays, but okay, I actually do have an explanation. I don't know why I haven't said it yet. So, connecting the main line of rays is very annoying. I can't get it right. So what I do is I add this front layer of rays will basically like mask where the rays end up so I don't have to like explain how the fuck they're mashing up. And also the back rays just feel properly there. I should have added another one over here, but I don't feel like it. I'll maybe add that later on. And then the brighter rays on the back. Maybe not that bright. God knows he isn't. I'm gonna get killed for that comment. Oh my god. Also, so in that episode one was like, I'm done fighting. The woman was too stunned to speak. Bro was like so used to fighting that he kind of low key wanted them to fight. Like this feels so abstract to him that it didn't sit right with him. Like I build up this anger that I want to throw out at you when we start fighting again. Why aren't you fighting? Fight me, so I can release all the anger. Fight me. It's unhealthy, son. Don't do it. It's unhealthy. I changed the background of this. I don't like the color. That's much better. What was that piss green over here? Hello? Okay. And then I can't select the gray. There we go. Is that the gray? I think that's the gray. This sweater wouldn't make an appearance because Dazzle isn't here. That sweater was made for like him and Dazzle to have matching sweaters. Originally. I feel like this was lighter at one point. Hello! Hold on, I need to quickly check. Why is this highlighted? Hello? There we go. I need to quickly check. Okay, and YouTube is being a little bitch. Please, can I open Twitter? Please, let me open Twitter. I need to... Oh, it is crashing. It is crashing severely. Hello? Bro! Bro! This... I swear... Come on! Oh my god, hold on. Total security. When we're having some technical difficulties. Come on! What is this? I have to save or it will close. What the? Hold on. Chat, everything's crashing. Wait a minute. Hold on. I can't. Oh no. Let me. I need to. I need to clear up space. Give me one moment. I didn't expect this to happen on stream. Clean up manually, select all files, clean up, confirm. Junk files destroyed. Let's boot up the art program again. There we go, we're back. Sorry, I forget to do my manual, like, cleanup, and this shit happens. Let me just scroll down to my drawings of sun to see if I ever. No, yeah, it's always been this dark. Weird. I remembered it being lighter. What if I make it lighter? Because I literally can. Make it more. Yeah, like that. Crisis averted, chat. We're back. I don't know what that was, but we're back. Everything's fine now. Everything is a-okay. Why am I so far behind the stream? That was some technical difficulties. We don't talk about them. They never happened. If anyone asks you, they never happened. It never will happen, and never will, never happened. On a serious note, though, I forget to clean up like my PC properly. So that is what happened. Don't pay it any mind. I am gonna make like a proper video going through the lore of ThunderDusted. Another because I try to think of it as what would I do if I was given the opportunity to be a channel leader? Like what kind of dimension I would make. So if it were to be a show, it would be the insert character name and Molten show. I'm not gonna reveal the character's name yet. I want to build them up properly. All you'll get is the color gray. But I really adore him. He's got them Spinel vibes, personality wise. Him and Molten are very close. I need to regulate the colors because the pictures I took for the colors are not the same hue and saturation as his face. Also, the Saturn and Eclipse show. Never thought I'd see Mitch playing a DCA character, but he fits Eclipse pretty well. My only complaint is that Eclipse and Foxy sound like indistinguishable, at least to me. Where the fuck is this arm built like that? Hello? Also, Glamour Chica being played by, I think, Azrael Jester. I will never forget my queen who played Glamour Chica on the Glamour Chica and Pantan Foxy show. think the voice actor name was Odd Fox or Oddities. I don't remember. Please don't. No. Where's the leak? Where's the leak? Oh, I didn't, bro. Okay, let me get the closeout first, and then we'll figure out the pattern, or like not the pattern, but the saturation we're gonna go with. Nice. I forgot to do that, and it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday for me because it's past 12. Ew. I would do it tomorrow, but my schedule is kind of booked for reasons I can't disclose. Oh, maybe Friday. His face is a little too yellow. Or am I tweaking? Maybe I'll rise with the situation for the clothes. I don't know. Let's just put them down. Okay, and then the pants are this color. Returning to the darkness. No, wait, it was this color. No, wait. It was this. Oh my god. Me when I can't remember. Me when I cannot remember. Which is like always. I like the. I've always liked the vibe of like, I have no idea what human is. Please explain to me what human is. And this like, what is this? Is this harmful? And it like, it's a plunger. Could this be a war weapon? Are you an army leader or something? I've always been a fan of like aliens accommodating themselves to Earth. This is kind of why like Parada is one of my favorite characters, and I wish they did that with the Astrals as well. Which they kind of did, but not really. Didn't like it felt like there were know-alls who was like, "Oh, really? That's how it works." Your planet is so weird. Like, I wish the Astros went like an on-screen arc of like, "What is this? Are you gonna kill us with that?" There's a lot of missed opportunities that could have been done with them, limited to well, some to reasons, because I feel like if they had the budget, we would have seen Lunar go on a space mission destroying planets. But unfortunately, that isn't a map on VR chat. So besides that Minecraft video, we're not gonna get anything else. How did I miss? There you go, and maybe yeah. We have to make the little sun emblema. That's not a circle. That's way too perfect of a circle. Better. Yes, in fact, there can be too perfect of circles. When they're too circular, it looks weird. There's a lot of story worlds on VR chat. They would have to find the perfect one for that. Yeah, I found this like very like there's this one map that I found in a very cool cabin that personally I thought Eclipse would live in because I feel like back then I saw him as like a fucking loner, like live alone. But no, he has like an entire fucking daycare now in his house. Like he has like a three fucking story house. I'm just gonna say this. I feel like Eclipse is gonna make a comeback. I'm sorry, but I don't see why they would like get this model unless they paid for it before they had the idea of stopping the channel. If it was after they got the idea to stop the channel, why would you pay money for a model that shows up two times? Either they had no they didn't plan for that at that point, or he's coming back eventually. Retire rich and fancy. He literally did, honestly. The funny part of this entire episode is like when Roxanne went in and it was just like zooming in on the stars and just Eclipse being alone. The first words that came out of my mouth are, that white ass bitch is gonna show up. That white haired TikTok bitch is gonna show up. And the second it pans the corner to the other shot of the house, I see her walk out and I screamed, I fucking called it! There's something about me and Puppet because I swear to God, sometimes I can just predict what the fuck is gonna happen with her. Like back when she back when she didn't show up, I had this like idea for a villain arc Charlie where Puppet and Sammy would be like the angel and the devil on her shoulders. Guess what happened over on Eeps? That's literally kind of the dynamic. They just didn't play around with it not that much, but that's kind of what the dynamic was. And she also had like a "I will fucking hurt you if you get close" phase, which was kind of like what the like evil AU was. See, me, Matt, and Flora have a connected brain. Okay, we have a connected brain. Not really, but it was funny that it was a coincidence. I do need Eclipse and Ruin to meet. I want to see what his reaction is. Fortune teller. By the way, it isn't my first time predicting what's gonna happen over on the show. I said Bruin is gonna like not directly ruin, but I said that Bloodman was gonna come back in like a week, and he fucking did. And he fucking did. I don't have access to that server anymore, so I can't grab the quote, but I know that I said Ruin's gonna fucking come back in a week. Not Ruin, Bloodman. Bloodman's gonna come back in a fucking week. And he did. I feel like the pink, the colors when I took it off kind of light to me of what the colors were actually, because this is not at all what I like pinpointed. Thank you. Fortune telling all around. I laughed and then I did like the Kate from Arcane. I did like a little British accent and I went, "You've gone predictable." If um Bavis might not. I can't legally disclose. Actually, I don't know. I don't think Bavis will. Actually, I think it was public. I don't know. But if he did come with me with the opportunity, I would hop on it actually a lot immediately. I'd love to be a voice actor. That's just because I love voice acting. It's very fun. I do it constantly. Like anytime like I'm not honest like doing something on a voice call or if I'm just walking around my room, I am pretending to have a there's been times where I've sat laid on my couch looking directly at the ceiling pretending to be fucking characters having a conversation. I am the improv. I don't need a script. I am improv humanized. Okay, I feel like the rays are a little bit too dark. Maybe a little bit brighter. Maybe a little bit yellower. Yeah. I should a little bit yellow. Everything else. Oh boy, I forgot to switch layers. Is that different? Yeah, it is. Maybe actually a little bit to the orange side. There's not even much of a difference. Oh god. Okay. Also, I kind of forgot why we're calling him Bavis now. Bavis and Reese, was it? I completely missed whatever happened for that. What if I... Come on, select the... Maybe not that part of the face. Maybe the other part of the face. Okay. And then we just need to find a proper color match for this. Come on! Yeah? Yeah, that works. Although now I feel like I need to adjust the main rays again. Not like that. Chronicles, I believe. Oh, I originally thought we were calling him Bavis for Bald Davis. Look at him actually having fashion for once. Hello. Fashion, fashion, fashion. Sun is easy to figure out. I don't know what to do with Moon though. I want to give him like a crop top leather jacket over a sweater. I don't know how the fuck to mix those two though, and it doesn't feel like it would fit him. But I still want to do it anyway. Also, why the fuck am I worried if it's gonna fit him? This is like an AU, which means I get to decide if it does. But eh, I'll see a way to incorporate it. And I also don't know if I should keep his feminine hips or not. I accidentally gave him feminine hips. I was kind of going for the final Pearl look, like season 5 through movie and future Pearl look, with like the crop top jacket, the shirt underneath, and like the pants. I guess leggings, but I wasn't gonna give Moon leggings. I'm sure he'd slay them, but that's not what I'm going for. Maybe we should make the endoskeleton gray part a little bit more to the orange side so that it fits better. Yep, there we go. I might add like some details to like the jacket sleeves, but apart from that, he's coming together. I want to give him his eyes though. Let me do that. A thing I like to do that I've done for a while is that I like to give him like the circle with the empty pupil thingy. Like best way to describe it is like this. But I like to draw it like very faded out compared to Eclipse's like very prominently like newer because he's like a newer. I wanted to like show not tell that Eclipse is like a newer version of Sun's model, and the best way to do that is by showing like tear down versus new. So Sun, who has been like through a lot, and it also is meant to represent how he's feeling mentally. So Suns are like very faded compared to Eclipses, which are like much more brand newer. Thing is, there was a chance. I just missed the like post that like was for to apply to be a body actor for Eeps and like a bunch of other stuff on Davis's team. I missed that post. Otherwise, I would have applied. And maybe I would have been on the team. I just missed it. I would love to do body acting stuff. It looks fun. I think it'd be better if it's like just black. Where's the there we go. There and there. And what I need to do now is find this to this. There we go. He's finally coming together. I never liked this design. It was like an alright. With these two, I was fine with. This one, I didn't. Now he's coming up. He's kind of giving businesswoman, but I'm kind of loving that. Okay. I'm gonna try and give him, like, cheeks. I'm avoiding the shoes. Like, I'm avoiding my next life. Jesus Christ. No, that doesn't need to be there. Wait, why am I still with that? Here we go. That's lighter. Yep, and then grab this. No. I said no. Maybe. If I. Yeah. Just maybe like bigger. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm thinking same orange for the shoes. Wait, that wouldn't work on the shoes because they're. Hold on, what the fuck am I doing? Okay. No, don't go with it. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. The lightning bulb and the sole of the shoes. And then see what I can do for the sleeves. I want to have them like go into lighter versions, kind of like some little bit of cloud energy. You know, I like probably add some clouds to the pants. We'll see. I like my designs detailed. That's just how I do. So far, though, this has been less detailed than what I'm usually, like what I usually do. Can you decide if I want to make it like darker or no? That's no. Yeah, that's better. There's not much visual difference, but it's better. Okay. process. Trust the process. Come on. There we go. Where the fuck is my mouse? 10 seconds, monitor. Please. Come on. There we go. No. There we go. That's too far away. Thank you. No. Come on. There you go. We're just gonna... Thank you. Okay. Yep. Did I? I did. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Okay, let's get back to the clouds. Yeah. That's more personality to it. There we go. I don't need to add too many clouds. It's better after this design is so simple. Go back to the old ways. I am thinking white outlines. I just think they're neat. I always like adding colored outlines around the pockets. It's kind of like a trademark in designing way. I don't see a lot of people do that, and I have that on my with every single design. It's kind of like my trademark in a way. Oh yeah, this is great. Still thinking on how to change the rays though. They don't sit right with me. off color when it like goes right, which it is, and I'm loving it. Peaceful silence, which wouldn't be like that if Ludman was still here. Thank God he didn't overtake for now. Okay, I kind of need to pick the orange. There you go. Oop, oop, yeah. God, I love my job, which isn't really a job, but it could be a job. Not the soft eraser. There we go. Now I just gotta do something about the race because they're pissing me off. Not the right color. I don't like the color that they are. They need to be fixed. Pulling up a Diamond Authority. You are off color. Ooh, this with the rays and then the back rays get a little bit lighter. Yes, he's done. He's fucking done. In his stylish ass glory. Someone looks like a fashionista with that outfit and pose. That's kind of what I was going for. He seems like someone who's gonna be very big on fashion, and Eclipse takes that from as well for him as well. He's done. This is ThunderDusted Sun. I've made a point to have a Thunderball on every single character somewhere, and on him is the shoes. That that was fun. And it's a sun design that I'm finally happy with because I tried to do a sun design properly and I never could. I couldn't think of what to give him. But now I have a proper sun design. This looks a little bit too short, and when you zoom out, you can't see it, and it's pissing me off. So I'm gonna add this in with my mouse. There we go. So I'm too lazy to pick up my tablet again. This is him. I absolutely adore this. Like, hold on. I kind of did like a similar post to what like the originally had, except his hand wasn't on his hip. The difference, like the glow up in my art is crazy. Hello, this is mind blowing that I got to this point. Right, little bubble thingies that I used to do, like the little dog. I called them like the little dog eyebrows. I kind of like them. Hold on. There we go. Now that's a sun design. I need to. This line needs to be like put down a bit because it doesn't make sense that it extends that far out. No, it needs to be longer than the other, but not like too. Yeah, like that. There you go. That's him. That's the guy. I adore this design. Oh my god. Not to like what was the saying again? Toot my own horn. But I think I did great. It's currently 2:45 a.m. And this stream has been going for 2 hours, which is kind of my indication to stop. So, this has been an amazing stream. I will be doing these more often now that I'm back into it. Next stream, hopefully, will be Moon. If I can figure out a design for that motherfucker. Thank you. I'll be posting it like with the white. I'm gonna add like a white outline around him. I'm gonna post him on TikTok later because I don't have a sleeping schedule. But that is all. Kings, queens, or in betweens. I hope you have a great Earth rotation. That is my way of saying day or that is my way of saying have a great day without having to say just to specify or night or afternoon or evening because other country regions and like time zones have a great Earth rotation. I'm gonna be ending this here though, because I need to fill my brain with a bunch of content. I need to scroll on YouTube for like 7 more hours. Bye.